sittings. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2A, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Monday, 2nd December 2024, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. As members are aware, the House is scheduled to proceed for the long recess commencing after today's session, going by our calendar of regular sittings. I wish to take this opportunity to thank the leadership and members of this House for your dedication and active participation during this session. The House sat longer on some days and had additional sittings to conclude various priority business, which the House Business Committee does appreciate and note the dedication and commitment of members of the House. In retrospect, Honorable Speaker, I believe we have achieved a lot, dared greatly, shown a lot of enthusiasm in our work, and a great high sense of devotion and dedication to our high calling as members of Parliament of the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya. And I want to encourage honorable members to continue the same dedication. Honorable Speaker, I must thank the leadership of this House, all our members, and indeed our staff for the charisma and steadfastness demonstrated during the torturous and life-threatening events of 25th June 2024 and the aftermath of these incidents. I can only say that your resilience, honorable members, is nothing short of inspiring, without which the House would not have quickly returned to normalcy, and has enabled us to accomplish a lot and close this session at a high peak. Honorable Speaker, just to pick out a few accomplishments, in the course of this third session, the House passed various key legislation, including bills relating to taxes, tax procedures, business laws, and the budget for both the national and county levels of government, with the conclusion this morning, Honorable Speaker, of the addition of the county revenue allocation bill, which was concluded this morning following the message that came from the Senate that you relayed to the House. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, the House considered and approved various nominees for appointment to various positions, including the reconstitution of the cabinet, and Honorable Speaker, as you very well noted, with very good new innovations of even including members of the public questions in the vetting process. And indeed, we must also note, as a House Business Committee, note your leadership, Honorable Speaker, in the Committee on Appointments, since these were some of the innovations that you led the Appointments Committee to innovate. There have also been constitutional commissions and other state and public officers whom we have approved, including the one that you just read the message from Mr. Nyaoma, the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, which we concluded and passed on to the Senate. Honorable Speaker, the House has also demonstrated its responsiveness to the issues affecting the public and risen to the occasion to address them. Of note, when the public raised concerns regarding the new funding model for our university education and the teething challenges faced in the implementation of the universal health care under Taifa Care, this House requested you to convene a Kamukunji with the respective cabinet secretaries to iron out the challenges, and you did so, Honorable Speaker, and the House Business Committee notes with gratitude your commitment to enabling and shepherding the House to resolve issues that are of concern to the people that we meet here to represent. Honorable Speaker, it is also worth noting that the House also robustly executed its oversight roles through parliamentary questions and statements sought by members of this House to cabinet secretaries who have appeared to answer and respond to these questions and statements from the public brought to the House on behalf of the people by their elected representatives. I may not be able, Honorable Speaker, to list all the achievements, but allow me to sincerely register my thanks to the House for the work well done this year, and especially during this last session of this year. Honorable Speaker, as we recollect and appreciate what has been achieved, I wish to point out that the mission of the 13th Parliament is not yet over. We still have a significant number of legislative proposals, bills, statutory instruments, and other reports that will most certainly need our keen attention when the House resumes on Tuesday, 11th February 2025. And Honorable Speaker, as you indicated, should there be need for a special sitting, I am certain that all these members are ready and willing to appear for a special sitting for any urgent business that may come in. And I thank them for their dedication. I therefore want to urge all members to rest during this recess, rejuvenate yourselves, and spend time with your families. They are the most important part of your being, your families. Spend good time with them this Christmas season. And also your larger families, the constituents that you represent, the people who have given you the great honor to come and represent them in this house, spend time with them and share Christmas with them. Do not fear to share Christmas with your constituents. Even our churches, please do share with them, because we are directed so in the Bible for those of us who are Christians, and I want to believe that even those of our colleagues who are Muslims, the Holy Quran also directs them to share. And indeed, I do know that Muslims have that sharing spirit always. I see it during the month of Ramadan when the Honorable Aden Dawood visits me and my family to share what he has. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to take this opportunity to inform honorable members of the House, I had mentioned that may be recalled for a special sitting pursuant to the provision of Standing Orders 29.1 to consider important pending business and other urgent business that may arise in the interim. Honorable Speaker, it's good to note that this House, we are like doctors on call, and members are always willing to appear should there be need.
We can call you even on Christmas Day.
That is why we are called to a high calling, yes. Honorable Speaker. Yes. And I'm certain these members, even if you call them on Christmas Day, they will be here for the service of humanity and the people of Kenya that have given that high honor to represent them. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the House Business Committee, my family, and the great people of Kikuyu constituency, may I also take this opportunity to wish you all a happy festive season as you interact with your families and spend time with them, your constituents, and all other Kenyans. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House, and I thank you. Honorable Speaker, out of the statement, may I also request honorable members that in the coming year, Honorable Speaker, this last week has been very torturous for the whips. This afternoon, I joined the Honorable Mwenje and the Honorable Naomi in whipping members to try and come into the chamber when you are seated there. But at times it's very embarrassing, Honorable Speaker, to leave you sitting here to go and whip members, and you find some members lying on the seats in the members' lounge, others enjoying their meals. And Honorable Speaker, we all know the appointed time when the Speaker sits here is at 2:30. I would beg, I know towards the end of the year people get fatigued, but in the new year, I would want to pray that we will not be keeping the Speaker here waiting at 2:30 or even at 9:30 in the morning, and we will not have members seated in the dining area. I had to whip at least 15 members who are entertaining guests, others who are having their lunch, Honorable Speaker, and I therefore just want to plead that in the coming year, because we all come re-energized with new energy, renewed energy after Christmas, and I believe even have gained some weight, Honorable Speaker. This year has been torturous. And as I said, members have been very resilient, and I want to thank all of them, but urge all of us that in the new year, let us come with new energy so that we also treat the business of the House with the dignity that deserves and on time, Honorable Speaker. With that, I thank you and wish all of our members a Merry Christmas, a happy festive season, a prosperous 2025 to you and your families and your constituents. May God bless you and continue serving the nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Member for Suna West. We're now on statements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding capitation to schools, textbook to pupil ratio, and the state of early childhood development and education, which is ECD programs. Mr. Speaker, the country has made remarkable strides in expanding access to education through initiatives such as free primary and secondary education, significantly boosting enrollment rates and reducing education disparities. However, while access to education is essential, the quality of education must also be prioritized so as to equip learners with skills and knowledge needed to succeed in a competitive and dynamic environment. Unfortunately, the current government capitation grants for primary and secondary schools are insufficient to address rising operational costs driven by the inflation and the high cost of living. These financial strains leave schools struggling to provide essential resources and timely compromising in quality of education. In addition, there is need to ensure that the framework for textbook distribution in public school under the free basic education system is designed to boost the quality of education provided. Honorable Speaker, pre-primary education is crucial for early character development and cognitive of preparedness of a child under Article 186 of Constitution. Devolves early childhood development and education, ECD, to county governments, leaving each county to regulate its own ECD programs. Consequently, ECD programs in some counties have faced significant challenges, including lack of investment by counties, resulting to disparities with regards to poor facilities and underpaid teachers, hindering quality of education and resources available to learners and teachers. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, the plans, if any, by the Ministry of Education to increase capitation for both primary and secondary schools to caution schools against the high cost of living and inflation. 2, a report on the ratio of textbooks to pupils in the country, the criteria used by the ministry to determine the ratio of textbooks, distribution, and measures taken to ensure an equitable ratio countrywide. And 3rd, a comprehensive assessment of implementation of early childhood development and education, ECD, programs under county governments, including steps taken to collaborate to ensure standardization for smooth and effective transition of child from ECD to primary school education. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Masara. Chair Education, I thought I saw Meli here. Oh, Malulu Njendi.
Yes, Speaker.
You bring the response the first week upon resumption.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Amina Udugon. Member for Garissa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for the statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding the management of pension funds by the National Social Security Fund. Honorable Speaker, the National Social Security Fund is a statutory body mandated to register members, receive their contributions, manage funds of the scheme, process, and ultimately pay out benefits to eligible members and or dependents. The enactment of the National Social Security Fund Act of 2013, which took full effect in 2023, introduced a new structure for contributions. This has resulted in an increase in the contributions managed by NSSF, with collections averaging to Kenya shillings 6 billion per month. Honorable Speaker, in compliance with the Retirement Benefit Authority Act, the NSSF outsourced fund management to external fund managers, namely Old Mutual Asset Managers, Gen Africa Asset Managers, Africa Alliance Kenya Investment Bank, Salam Investment East Africa Limited, Corp Trust, and CIC Asset Managers Limited. However, Mr. Speaker, in August 2024, the Central Bank of Kenya initiated an investigation through a request to the Capital Markets Authority. into irregular trading activities involving the NSSF, where bonds were allegedly bought at inflated prices and sold at losses. The purported trading malpractice raises serious concerns regarding the stewardship in management of pension funds by the NSSF and the detrimental impact to the contributors. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the following. Number one, a comprehensive report on the distribution of funds for management amongst the 6 external fund managers for NSSF from July 2022 to October 2024, including any bond transactions made in the primary and secondary markets. 2, a report on the total value of investment made in buying of government securities, such as treasury bonds, and the distributions among the external fund managers. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the action taken by the Board of Trustees of NSSF to internally investigate the purportedly irregular trading activities and ensure that prudential principles such as security, profitability, liquidity, and transparency were followed in the investment of the funds. 4, a report on any investigations that have been undertaken by the Capital Market Authority in collaboration with the Central Bank of Kenya on the alleged irregular trading activities, and if so, Mr. Speaker, the action taken to sanction those involved. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, the role, if any, of Pagamon Investment Bank in the alleged irregular trading activities resulting in the bonds being bought at inflated prices and sold at losses. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Udugon. Chair Finance and Planning. Where is the Chair Finance? Mama Naomi, wapi mwenyekiti wako?
I think he has not yet arrived.
Inform them to respond.
I will.
First week upon resumption.
I will. Thank you.
Joshua Kandia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the recruitment of officers to the State Department for Diaspora Affairs.
Yes, hold on. What's the point of order, Amina?
Mr. Speaker, not a point of order, but still on the statement.
We're done with your statement.
I know, Mr. Speaker, give me 1 minute to say something. The NSSF now collects 12% of the workers' salaries, Mr. Speaker, and I would have liked if the 2 committees, the the Finance Committee and the Social Security Committee, to sit and invite me in that meeting so that I can take part in seeing this important.
When the Finance Committee sits, they will invite you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's a given.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kandia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the recruitment of officers to the State Department for Diaspora Affairs. Honorable Speaker, Article 232(1)(I) of the Constitution enshrines the values and principles of public service, which includes the provision of adequate and equal opportunities for appointment, training, and advancement in all levels of public service to men and women, members of all ethnic groups, and persons with disability. This constitutional provision is necessary for upholding equity, fairness, inclusivity, and transparency in public service appointments and advancement. Honorable Speaker, the State Department of Diaspora Affairs has undertaken a recruitment of individuals to various positions within the department, contrary to Article 232(1)(I) of the Constitution and Section 37 of the Public Service Commission Act Cap 185. Notably, the Public Service Commission Act Cap 185 mandates the Commission to advertise all vacancies of a public office on its official website and in at least one newspaper of national circulation. However, there is no evidence that such advertisements were made for the positions recruited. Therefore, many Kenyans were denied an equal opportunity to apply for the positions in the State Department for Diaspora Affairs. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. 1, a comprehensive report on the recruitment of officers to the State Department for Diaspora Affairs from January 2023 to October 2024, detailing the dates when the mandatory public advertisements were made in accordance with Section 37 of the Public Service Commission Act Cap 185 and the procedures used in the recruitment. 2, a list of individuals recruited to the State Department for Diaspora Affairs during the specified period, including details on the regions from which they were selected. And 3, the measures put in place by the Public Service Commission to ensure that all Kenyans are afforded adequate and equal opportunity for appointment to public offices, along with steps taken to uphold transparency in the recruitment process within public offices. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Karemba, that is to you.
Yes, Honorable.
First week upon resumption.
Yes, I undertake that we will look into his statement, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Then Karemba yourself, request for your statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Request for a statement regarding the high cost of farm feeds. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding the high cost of farm feeds. Honorable Speaker, dairy farming is crucial in ensuring food security and economic stability in the country. Sadly, the industry faces several challenges that have crippled the farmers, including high cost of animal feeds, high veterinary charges, and change in milk prices. The challenges have in turn decreased milk yields, thereby undermining overall performance and sustainability of dairy farming in the country, and specifically in Runyenjes, Embu County. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding the following. 1, statistics of milk production in Runyenjes constituency in Embu County. 2, the measures being put in place to lower the cost of animal feeds required for dairy farming. And 3, the initiatives being put in place to ensure milk production in the country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Agriculture. Wapi Dr. Mutunga. Naomi, you inform the chair.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I will inform him, and I'm sure once we come back from recess, they'll be able to give us a report.
Thank you. Responses. Tongoyo. To a statement by Honorable Tindi Mwale. Is he in the house?
Yeah, I can see he's in the house.
I can see you, Honorable Member. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Honorable Speaker, in a response to the statement being sought by the MP, Nicholas Tindi Mwale, the MP for Butere, regarding a statement regarding the fight against drug trafficking in the country, I want to state as follows. And in particular, I wanted to know the number of users of the hard drugs, the number of users hard drugs in the country registered by NACADA with a specific focus on the heroin and cocaine, the reported involvement of the law enforcement officers, and that is the National Police Service, and the status of the war against the drug abuse, including enumeration of the rehabilitation program for persons affected by the drug abuse. Honorable Speaker, Kenya faces a number of challenges as far as alcohol and drug abuse is concerned, and the problem transcends through race, income level, economic, or social status, continues to permit and affect the overall productivity of Kenyans. The number of users of the hard drug is obtained from the various surveys that the authority has carried out over the years. And Honorable Speaker, it is a voluminous document. It's a result of a survey. And I think our main...
Be shared with Honorable Tindi.
Yeah, I'd rather do that because it actually gives a whole report of the survey to include the...
Share it with the member and table it.
Better, Honorable Speaker, because it's a voluminous document a bit. I don't know.
Honorable Mwale, have you seen it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'd seen the document.
Okay, so table it. And I'll allow the member to ask a supplementary on the document.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. The data has been provided, but the years which they are quoting, it's not recent. They are using data which it's like 3 years ago. So I don't know if we can get the exact data as of 2024.
Gabriel, are you giving data that is out of date?
Honorable Speaker, it's hard to do because, you know, surveys are expensive. And at times they are periodically carried maybe after 2 years or 3 years. But I will try to see if we have the latest, because the latest I can see here is of 2021. And I think 2021 is the latest. There's one for 2020, 2021 by NACADA. And I think that is the latest we have.
So, yes, Tindi?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to liaise with the committee if they can ask the relevant ministry of the recent data, because we might be dealing with the data of 2021, but data do keep changing because we see drug abuse is a common disease in Kenya these days.
Yes, Nabi?
Honorable Speaker, I tend to agree with the Honorable Tindi. The problem of drug trafficking and use of hard drugs has permeated the society, especially our schools, our secondary schools, our universities and colleges. Now, if we are relying on our data 4 years back, we cannot be able to develop a strategy to manage this. And therefore, it behoves upon the ministry to give us an up-to-date data to enable us develop strategy to manage this situation. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Ondo?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. At least we have some data, whether redundant or not, but at least we have got a starting point. But I think the chair could listen to members, Chair, so that you transmit this information to the relevant authorities. Honorable